So why do I do what I do, and why do I like to inform others? Is the question, isn't it? Well, I came from, I got sick over 20 years ago. That's when I was made look at my health and question everything about the medical industry that only offered me drugs 20 years ago. That was it. As a young 20-year-old, it's like drugs. It's like, I'm not living my life on drugs. This is not the answer. So I went and found it myself. And in finding the answers for myself, I found the answers for everyone else as well. And I thought, oh my God, I know. Everyone else should want to know. So I started shouting out, and people were like, shut up, we don't want to know. You start telling them that there's poisons in their vaccines. Shut up. What would you know? You're not a doctor. You don't have papers. You know? That was 20 years ago. Now it's a trend out there. Everyone's doing it, which is fantastic. The more that are awake to it, the better, you know? That means my job is done. My shouting 20 years ago has worked. But you know, I'm all about prevention's better than cure. And that's why I'm like, don't stick toxic needles in your babies at birth, because you're setting them up as customers for life. When you inoculate something, it takes a while to grow through the body, and you don't know what's in these vaccines that's inoculating inside the body. Most people don't care to look. But you try tell them and they're like, don't tell us, we don't want to know. Unless you're a doctor and the doctor's telling us. But your doctor's never going to tell you because you're never going to ask. And he's not going to give you the informed consent that he's supposed to, or she is supposed to give you. Like I said before, they don't even swear to do no harm. The Hippocratic Oath, that's gone. So I don't trust doctors and I don't trust the medical industry. I can only trust myself. That's it. That's all I'm left with in this world. So I figure things out for myself. And me, knowing me, I know how honest I am. I try to tell others, but they don't see me in that way. A lot of people, and that's okay. But all I'm trying to do is help. I'm trying to point out to stop poisoning your children with like needles and the food that you call food that's not food. And it's leading to all these chronic illnesses out there. And prevention's better than cure, because you don't know the people that have come to me over the years looking for help. And I've drained myself trying to help them because the resources aren't here in this country to help anybody. But I've learned now that I can't do that anymore. I can't help anyone, so don't anyone come to me looking for help. I can give the answers and I can give the information, but I don't do consultations or one-to-ones. That's not what I do. I can point you in the right direction. And I can give you the answers where, you know, it's all there. All the answers are there. And I've been giving them out over the years. And I have people who I've given the answers to who come back asking the same questions. I'm like, I can't do this. Listen, like. So when I'm like, people don't listen, people don't fucking listen. They don't, like. They half listen. And I know why. Because they're in so much pain, they can't do it for themselves. And I was there, I was in that pain. But I had to drive through it myself. You would not believe the pain that I've been through over the years. And I've refused drugs every time. I've just went through the pain. Because I know that pain is a healing crisis also. And I just didn't know. At times, that was a healing crisis that I was going through. So I did things that I shouldn't have done, like pull my teeth out, you know? So I've went Without the dentist, that is. That's me, myself, like. I despise the medical industry and I just don't want to be in their places unless there's no other choice. I get that they're there for emergencies. But when you feed your body poison, you're only going to feel the effects of that poison. You're not super. You don't get away with it forever, like. You think you're coping out there, you're surviving. You should be thriving. Most people, no one have any idea. I lived 20 years of my life eating meat, dairy, all that crap. My dad was a butcher. I grew up eating all that crap. And I got extremely ill. And then I cut it all out. And I got extremely healthy. So explain that. And I do what I do because I don't want others to be in the pain. I don't want, if you see the people that come to me that are ill, you don't want to be there. You just don't want to wait for that. Like, people are, I'll come to you when I get sick. How about don't let yourself get sick so you don't have to come to me, because I don't want you coming to me. You know? I want you, everyone, to use their brains. So put some lion's mane and some Irish sea moss in there to begin with, you know? And you'll get some brain fog freed up there. That can be a start. As I said a few years ago when I found out about lion's mane, I was like, oh, we can help the Irish big time here. Because Ireland, the statistics out there, my fucking hair. 1 in 20 people in the north of Ireland have a diagnosis of autism. That's the future of this country. That's not good, like. And I know, look, I'm not getting onto autistic people. I'm not, like, but I'm only pointing out that we're in a world where autism is more prevalent than it ever was before. And there's also an industry in making money off people by giving them a diagnosis of autism. People want disability payments, so they want the diagnosis. You know, so there's a lot of people that aren't even autistic out there that are going around calling themselves autistic. Autism to me would be a child who just, you know, cannot brain function. Not someone who can live in society and do things. There's only one disease, and that's mucus acidosis. Poison causes all that. So the more poisoned somebody is, the more ill they will be. And that's my humble opinion. It's not my medical diagnosis or anything. That's just my life experience of everything that I've seen and done, and have had people come to me over the years, and I've researched, I've studied, I've read a lot of books. I've studied with Dr. Morse. You know, I know what I'm on about. And I'm just trying to help people. But it's not my job. That's what I realise. It's not my job to help anybody. But I'm surrounded by everybody. So it's very conflicting, isn't it? What to do?